Brandon Lewis here, braving the elements, the rain and the wind, to bring you the news that the mainstream media never will. Tennessee illegal alien shoots 2 children, 1 adult in 6-mile-long shooting rampage. Bet you won't hear that in the mainstream media. Governor Lee scores an F for failure to stop illegal immigration in Tennessee. Representative Stephen Cohen and 157 House Democrats voted against deporting illegal alien sex offenders. Constitutional Republicans cleared of wrongdoing. Somebody needs to take Tom Lawless off that board. He's an embarrassment. State sovereignty legislation, subject of Tennessee Senate summer study meeting. I'm getting rained on here, people. Tennessee state officials prepare to crack down on ballot hospital monopoly after continued failure to provide quality of care. And finally, abortion trafficking law in Tennessee temporarily blocked by federal judge. This is Brandon Lewis. Hey, I've been watching mainstream media my entire life, and apparently when there is a major weather event, you're supposed to stand out in the weather as if people can't see it outside their window to prove that you're a real journalist. So here I am, baby. I hope I don't have a widowmaker land on my head. Okay, Saturday, I am going to be at the Tennessee Constitutional Grassroots Coalition Freedom Fest. I hope you'll come out and say hello to me. I am speaking at 5:45, and I will be there about an hour before and about an hour after to say hello. Me and my oldest daughter will be there at a table. We'd love to say hello to you. And this is in Loudon, Tennessee, and it is at 1470 Robertson Spring Road, and it's starting at noon Eastern, but I will be there at 5:45 p.m. Guys, please do go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com, hit the subscribe button, or you can text NEWS to 423-205-5600, or anywhere you get your social media or podcast, simply search for Tennessee Conservative News. That's going to get blown all over the place. Tennessee illegal aliens are all in the news, right? Except for the mainstream media outlets. They don't cover this stuff. So every week, we get to cover the fact that illegal aliens are shooting, murdering, raping, and robbing, and everything else Tennessee citizens, while our state government does nothing about it whatsoever. And so here's the headline. Tennessee illegal alien shoots 2 children, 1 adult in 6-mile-long rampage. An illegal immigrant was arrested in Nashville on Wednesday in connection with a shooting rampage that took place last month, leaving 2 children and 1 woman wounded. Exadion Murillo Antoinez, who cares, went on a 6-mile shooting spree on the night of Saturday the 8th, and he began at Cedar Hill Park and Old Hickory Boulevard and went to the 300 block of North Main Street in Goodlettsville. Investigators say he shot 2 children along with 4 occupied vehicles in the incident. An uninvolved woman was driving along Old Hickory Boulevard and was shot in the jaw. Closed-circuit transmission, Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, Randy McNally. When are you going to grow a pair and do anything about this at the state level instead of killing the legislation that would protect Tennesseans to do the bidding of your corporate paymasters? Back to the story. After several weeks of investigation, the gentleman was taken into the custody of officials on September the 25th. He is charged with 4 counts of attempted criminal homicide, 10 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, felony weapon possession, felony reckless endangerment, and driving without a license. He was booked into the downtown detention center with a bond set of $880,000. However, jail rosters show he is not eligible for release because there's an illegal immigration retainer. Let's keep these people out of Tennessee instead of trying to do something with them after they have murdered, robbed, or raped our citizens. Governor Lee scores an F. Imagine why. For failing to stop illegal immigration in Tennessee. The Tennessee Conservative posted a poll on X. Hey, anybody could enter this. Bill Lee could send his minions down to vote in it, right? I'm sure the few folks that gave him excellent were probably on his staff. And he scored an F. Like 70% of people gave him an F. And here are some of the comments. Maybe you agree with them. The governor and the General Assembly are very weak. They have failed our state miserably. Our state leaders should be thrown out of office. Another one said, time to reclaim state sovereignty in the 10th Amendment. No illegal should be dumped on already stressed government locally. And finally, I cannot safely leave my home due to all the criminal illegal aliens. That's treason in my mind. Governor Lee has been under scrutiny, as you might imagine, because he has helped kill almost every deterrent and preventative measure on legal immigration in Tennessee over the last 4 years that I've been covering it. He's also the one that authored and approved the Illegal Immigration Center in Chattanooga, Tennessee, without any public comment, where kids were molested and lost. And we've got things that we could be doing right now to stop this, but Governor Lee doesn't seem to want that to be part of his legacy. He wants to limp on out with very few accomplishments and COVID hanging over his entire tenure and his legacy, I suppose. If he started on a low note, he wants to end that way. Next story. So, Tennessee Representative Cohen and the 157 House Democrats voted against deporting illegal alien sex offenders. The summary of this is essentially, if you're an illegal alien and you get accused of raping, molesting, otherwise assaulting someone in the United States, the Democrats think they should be able to stay here, right? It's just another vote to them. The U.S. House passed a bill last week to deport and make inadmissible criminal foreign nationals convicted of domestic violence and sex-related offenses, including sex crimes against children. It was passed with bipartisan support, with the majority, however, of Democrats voting 158 against. The bill would amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to, quote, provide that aliens who have been convicted of or have committed sex offenses, etc., are inadmissible and deportable. Guys, what happens in Washington is happening in Tennessee, except instead of the Democrats killing the legislation, it's the Republicans. And the thing is, this is just all preventative, right? None of this is actually going to stop the crime or keep them out of the country or keep them out of our state. We can't even get things after the fact passed in Congress. Whew, that wind is kicking up. Constitutional Republicans cleared of wrongdoing. It's been nearly a year since Democrat activist Wes Dunkel filed a complaint with the Registry of Elections claiming the Constitutional Republicans were acting as an illegal PAC, and even included an investigation by Tennessee Attorney General's office, who reported no wrongdoing. But that didn't stop the Tennessee Registry of Election Finance Board from subpoenaing people, from calling folks away from their jobs and their kids and their family at great personal expense. Good grief! See? I'm braving the elements. I think I look like, oh gosh, limbs falling. It's only I will risk life and limb to bring you the news. But they dragged them down there anyway, with the most scant evidence you have ever seen. It's like pictures of crap on Facebook. I saw them on Facebook. Well, let's subpoena a dozen people and have them leave their jobs and their family and everything else at their expense and come down here to only find that nothing has happened. They wouldn't just listen to the report from the Attorney General. The fictitious evidence presented against the Constitutional Republicans included many references to the group having breakfast together at church and talking about politics. Oh my gosh. They even went to a picnic at the city park. That's a PAC, right? We don't have freedom of assembly, according to this finance board. We don't have freedom of speech, because Tom Lawless gets to determine what that is. And I've heard, but I've not seen yet, that Tom Lawless is in this video, we'll see, calling for the TBI to get involved, and another board member has to say, hey, we're not going to weaponize this board, and the Tennessee Conservative has been reporting on the weaponization of this board for a long time. Lawless is a disgrace to the Republican Party. He needs to be taken off this board. Kurt Riley, who's the chairman of the Sumner County Constitutional Republicans, said, quote, West is crazy. We've been living rent-free in his head for years, and I'm worried about how he may blow a gasket after not getting his way. The obsession is astounding. Oh, we got sunshine coming in. True words are never spoken. Attorney Kirk Clements, who represented the Constitutional Republicans, said, I don't think I've ever seen someone as obsessed with a group like West and the Constitutional Republicans. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre that our freaking government at the highest levels, an appointed board, doesn't have the sense to leave Tennesseans alone to practice their freedom of assembly and free speech rights. More on that when we get the video. It's turned into a kangaroo court, and there's a few of these board members that Republicans, for the sake of preserving their own reputation and the respect and the authority of the board, they need to take them off there. Whew, guys. If you want us to continue bringing you the news, please do go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com/support. We need your money. It gets a little dry here at the Tennessee Conservative during the summer and early fall months So please, go there, mail your checks to P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. That's P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. You'll get some stuff. We'll send you a Proud Tennessee Conservative tumbler. We'll send you a couple of bumper stickers and a letter of thanks for anything you give us, along with a directory of your elected officials. So go there, do donate. You can also mail your checks to P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. That is P.O. Box 625, Signal Mountain, Tennessee 37377. We've got expenses, guys. If you're consuming this content and you've never chipped in, shame on you. I mean it. Shame on you. Help us. We've got reporters to fund. We've got software to pay for, overhead, all the crap that comes from publishing. And we need help. We need help. We cannot continue to go on with only 93% of people on our list sitting on the sidelines. Guys, do go donate today. Next story, state sovereignty legislation, long overdue in my opinion. Subject of Tennessee Senate Summer Study Meeting. The Tennessee Senate, state and local government committees will hold a fact-finding summer study meeting on restoring state sovereignty through Nullification Act after the legislature scuttled the bill for 3 years in a row. That's not the legislature, that's Republicans. Republicans think that if the federal government says it, that we have no separation of powers, we have no autonomy as a state, it's just bend, bow, and scrape because we might lose a federal dollar. It's the same stuff that happened during COVID. None of that crap would have happened if Bill Lee hadn't been chasing the corporate interest and the federal dollars. Many businesses were forcibly closed, limits were placed on attendance, worship services, etc. The situation created by the federal government due to the pandemic, which really was Bill Lee being a coward, was constitutional mess and served as a giant wake-up call for citizens. The bill was introduced by Senator Janice Bowling and Representative Bud Halsey to create a set of 5 legal pathways to nullify federal overreach. And the Senate Bill 2775 will be on Thursday, October 3rd at Cordell Hall meeting or building. This is only a fact-finding mission. Sorry, it's a little distracting out here. Guys, call in, support this. This meeting is on October 3rd, 2024. I just don't get it. And I've heard the Democrats reporting, like I've seen in Democrat publications, they act like if we say, no, this is unconstitutional, you do not have this authority, they go, Civil War. No, it is the mechanisms of government as the founders and the Constitution says it's supposed to be. We need state sovereignty because we cannot keep the federal government from bloating and spending and corrupting. We've got to do it at the state level. Tennessee state officials prepare to crack down on Ballad Hospital monopoly after continued failure to provide quality of care. Why do we have Republicans supporting monopolies? We got Republicans supporting monopolies and doling out billions of dollars in corporate welfare, picking winners and losers, and they're using your money to do it. That's the conservatives, right? Tennessee officials are one step closer to changes that would force Ballad Health to make improvements to its quality of care for the risk of disbanding the current monopoly. Documents show negotiations have been in the work to modify the state's monopoly agreement with Ballad, who is currently the largest state-sanctioned hospital monopoly in the country. The country! Here we are in Tennessee, and we got the greatest, largest monopoly in the country. I tell you what, that's what some lobbying money will get you up in Nashville with these principleless officials. You want a monopoly? Sure, we'll give it to you. Just give us some campaign money. Can you send a few lobbyists in here to write a few checks? Absolutely. Here's your monopoly. According to annual reports from the Tennessee Department of Health, Ballad has failed to meet approximately 80% of benchmarks. Nobody in government ever gets fired or held accountable for any of their mistakes. Look at everybody in power. Still in power since COVID happened. Never paid a personal price or penalty. Act like it never happened. What could change all that if negotiations proceed through the TDOH as proposed by a new scoring system? Ballad Health was informed in 2018. Good grief. After Tennessee and Virginia officials approved a merger of several hospitals, doing so based on a certificate of public advantage. Public advantage, my ass. Corporate advantage. Corporate advantage. That's what the Republicans are always after, the corporate advantage. Not the public advantage. I hope they pull it. Lock, stock, and barrel. Abortion trafficking law in Tennessee temporarily blocked by a federal judge at the end of June. Democrat State Rep Afton Bain filed a lawsuit against the state challenging the new law that briefly went into effect on July 1st. Abortion advocates in Nashville, along with attorney Rachel Welty, claim that wording in the law is unconstitutionally vague and attacks the First Amendment rights by criminalizing certain forms of speech. The law makes it a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by almost a year in jail, for an adult to intentionally help a minor across the state lines to obtain abortion. That does, if a baby ends up dead, that doesn't sound like free speech to me. Friday's ruling from the U.S. District Judge Aleda Trieger, a Bill Clinton appointee, because the Democrats love killing babies, sided with Bain, stated that the Tennessee cannot make criminal the ability to communicate freely about legal abortion in other states. Traeger's decision means that adults can be prosecuted for taking, means that no adults, rather, can be prosecuted for taking minors out of state without parental consent for an abortion. While abortion is illegal in Tennessee in all stages of pregnancy, there are common sense exemptions for molar pregnancy, ectopic pregnancy, is administrating DC procedures after miscarriage, or if the life of the mother is in danger. We live in odd times, right? The fact that we have to pass a bill to keep from killing babies is bad enough, and the fact that we've got adults fighting to kill them is even worse. Guys, I survive falling limbs and debris out here. Out here as a rugged journalist. I wonder when any of these journalism organizations will recognize the intrepid work of the Tennessee conservative. I don't know that they've ever recognized a conservative journalist. I've never seen any of it, right? It's all one-sided. Democrat, left-leaning, corporately funded, kind of like Republican leadership in many respects. Guys, what's going on this weekend? Well, I was supposed to go film some stuff today on another location for my other company, but the weather has not agreed with me to do that. I think I'm just going to be up here tonight. I'm just going to stay at the house. I'd had lunch plans with somebody, and something came up with that too. But tomorrow, Sylvia and I are going to be headed to Loudon, Tennessee. And so if you will look around the show notes here, come join me. 5:45 is when I'll be speaking. Of course, the event kicks off at noon. I think this will be my last public appearance until the spring, because I turn into a hermit, because I have to focus on my painting coaching business, because that's the time of year when we're really busy, is in the winter. And of course, the legislature gets in session, and that takes up a lot. Hey guys, listen, we're raising money to try to send Adelia Kirchner to finally have one conservative reporter up in Nashville. Just one. That's all we need, just one, to go to the Capitol for only 13 weeks. And we're far from reaching our goal. It's probably going to cost somewhere around $20,000, all said and done. And I think we're at like $4,000, something like that. So we're $16,000 short, somewhere in there. So if anybody recently had a rich uncle pass away, send us a check. Send us a check. If somebody mails me a check for the whole amount, by golly, I'll recognize you. I'll call you. I'll take you out to a steak dinner. And we'll send Adelia. And she's sharp, and she's bright, and she won't take no for an answer. And we need to be able to bring you the truth about what's going on there, and not just be relegated to watching videos at a distance. It's better than nothing, but it's not true reporting. It just breaks my heart that all these corporately funded publications just are rolling in the dough to send all kinds of people, reporters, lobbyists, you name it. And here we are representing the largest voter bloc in the state of Tennessee that has virtually no representation up in Nashville, unless citizens go up there, and that's me and you, the GOP primary voter, the average GOP primary voter. So guys, help us send Adelia up there. What's going on Sunday? I'm going to go to church on Sunday. Normally I go on Saturday, but I am going to this event. And then I'm going to walk the Cumberland Trail because I want to see how high the water is going to be. It follows a creek for several miles, and I just want to see, like, what is that thing going to look like in flood state? Okay, so hopefully there's not too many trees across the path, and hopefully by then this wind will have died down, so it'll be a little safer. I don't have to worry about getting clumped on the head by a widowmaker, which I don't know where I'm standing right now is much better. Foolhardy, Brandon Lewis here, braving the elements as a brave, intrepid journalist for the Tennessee Conservative News. Love you guys, mean it. Thank you for allowing me to have the privilege of doing this. It's all because of your financial support, because of your eyes and ears, and passing along information to other conservatives. We could not do it without you. Again, Brandon Lewis here of the Tennessee Conservative News. Until next time, signing off. Have a good weekend, guys. Hope to see you tomorrow in Loudon. If not, hope to see you around soon. Take care.